Here he comes, here he comes. Then the trumpets, then the drums, here he comes. Hopalong, Cassidy, here he comes. Ooh.
I received an urgent letter from my old friend, Sheriff Jeff Barton, over in Stone Valley. He wrote that he was having a little trouble and asked me to drop by if I could spare the time. Now, Sheriff Jeff has been a law officer the best part of his life and is a fearless man. So when he said he was having a little trouble, it meant something serious. My saddle pal, Red Connors, was eager to go along because just the mention of trouble and the chance of getting mixed up in it was like a tonic for him. At the top of the hill, we looked down on Stone Valley. At the far end to the south was the town, our destination.
Jeff Barton. He's hurt bad. His ranchers will take him home and get a doctor for him. How is he, doctor?
Kind of his injuries till I make a more thorough examination. There may be serious complications.
Could I talk to him for a minute?
Why, since he knows you, Mr. Cassidy, and you're a friend of his, why, it might lift his spirit if he knows you're around.
Thank you.
But only for a minute.
Thanks, doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Roberts.
Goodbye, Doc. Thanks again. Say, did you see the men who tried to kill our sheriff?
Well, Hoppy and me didn't get close enough to get a good look at him. As soon as the buckboard wrecked, they cleared out fast.
It's an outrage.
Well, I ain't been keeping score about what's been going on here in Stone Valley, but you can say that again, Mr.
Stephen Roberts, my friends here.
Yeah, I'm glad to know you, Mr. Roberts. Connor's my name.
Friend of Cassidy's?
Yeah, Hoppy and me's been knocking around together for years.
We ranchers are desperate. I don't know what we'll do with our sheriff laid up.
Hoppy's a good friend of the sheriff. He'd be glad to help you.
We sure need all the help we can get. So long.
So.
As the doc said, my old friend Sheriff Barton was glad that Red and I had arrived. He told me as much as he could about the trouble in Stone Valley, but I didn't let him talk too long. Doctor's orders. I learned that Stone Valley was being run by a group who call themselves the Ranchers Cooperative. For a year, this association had been friendly and given the ranchers credit for the supplies they needed. The bills were to be paid when the crops and the cattle were sold. Recently, the ranchers had found that their bills had been padded with interest and unfair prices. When they could pay, the association threatened foreclosure and refused more credit. Attempts to haul in supplies were stopped by mysterious raiders, and some of the ranchers had been killed. The sheriff himself had been the latest victim. Just before he lapsed into unconsciousness, he told me that a man named Morgan was the head of the association. I decided to pay him a visit. I left Sheriff Barton in the care of some neighbors while Red and I rode into town to call on Morgan. I had told Red what the sheriff had said, and as usual, he perked up and his eyes were gleaming at the prospect of a fight. But that was one thing I planned to avoid if possible. The Ranchers Cooperative Association cannot extend any more credit for supplies to ranchers who have not paid their current bills.
It smells like a politician's promise to me.
Red,
When we get inside, let me do the talking, huh? I won't say anything. You know me, Hoppy.
Yeah, I do know you. That's why I'm telling you. Hi, Robert.
You men are going to see Morgan. You're wasting your time. Saw him and demanded that the association get more credit for the ranches. He not only refused, but ordered me out.
Well, maybe we'll have better luck.
This is no joking matter, Cassidy. If we don't get supplies soon, we'll be starved out. I wouldn't be surprised if the men raiding our wagons are hired by Morgan.
Morgan sounds like a down white-livered skunk.
Let's go in and find out for ourselves. You Mr. Morgan?
Yes, I'm Morgan.
My name's Cassidy. That's Red Connors.
How do you do? Well, what can I do for you?
I'm a friend of Sheriff Barton's.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about the sheriff's accident. He was a good man.
He's still a good man.
I think I know why you men are here. The ranchers have told you that the association was unfair to them because he wouldn't give them any more credit.
Well, that seems to be the general opinion.
I don't have to explain anything to you, Cassidy. The association's none of your affair.
I haven't said that it was, have I?
Well, you seem to be an intelligent man. Sit down, I'll explain our position to you. Maybe you can make these thick-skulled ranchers understand.
Well, it might help clear things up.
The association is a business organization. A year ago, we tried to help the ranchers by extending liberal credit to them for their supplies. Now, when they won't pay, we find ourselves with thousands of dollars on the books. Look at those shelves. With our capital gone, we were unable to restock. And now the ranchers, they demand more credit and more supplies.
I see what you mean.
You've probably also heard that we're going to start foreclosure proceedings against the ranchers.
Yeah, we did hear that.
We're in business to make money, not to lose it. Naturally, we'll use legal means to get back what they owe us.
Well, what you say certainly makes sense.
I knew you'd understand.
You any idea who the varmints are that've been raiding the ranchers' wagons?
I'd like to get my hands on them. They raided 2 of ours.
Well, they made a mistake when they picked on Sheriff Barton. Murder is bad business.
Murder? Why, I thought you said the sheriff would recover.
I don't remember saying anything about the sheriff's health. Come on, Red. See you later. Morgan was a cagey character, but I began to suspect that he knew far more about the raiders than he said. His reply to my hint that the sheriff had been murdered was proof that someone had informed him of Barton's condition. And the informer had to be someone who was at the house this morning.
I can't figure what you got up your sleeve, but I know you got something.
Not a thing.
Cassidy!
It's Roberts and the ranchers. You want to see them?
Sure. Why not?
Did Morgan agree to give you more supplies for us ranchers?
Now, see here, Robert. Hoppy never said he'd get any supplies for you. You were inside the store and saw the empty shelves.
That doesn't mean a thing. They've got plenty of supplies stacked away somewhere.
Hey, you seem pretty sure of that.
Well, it's obvious they're not being starved out.
And I suppose you've advised the ranchers to turn over their land to the association?
Well, they're going to foreclose. What else can we do?
Did you ever think of fighting for your rights?
Hey, that's an idea, Hoppy. There's freight hauling outfits at the county seat that'll get supplies in here.
That has possibilities.
Yeah, and another thing. We can start our own store. We'll fight this association bunch at their own game.
Oh, but that's dangerous.
What's so darn dangerous about it?
Well, it might start a fight. We've had enough bloodshed in the valley.
Oh, I don't know. A good fight out in the open kind of clears the air.
Yeah, just let them skunks that have been raiding your wagon show their faces.
Look here, Cassidy. We didn't ask for your help. Who gave you authority to butt into our affairs? I still say this store idea is foolish and dangerous. And I think my friends here will agree with me. Killing people may be all right for you, but we want no part of it.
Why that low rat?
You wait here.
But Hoppy,
I said here. I didn't have a suggestion about the store that made this fellow Robert so angry. But there was a reason for it, which I intended to find out. At the moment, it was important to play possum until I had proof of what I suspected.
Roberts, Red and I have no intentions of starting any gunplay. My only interest here is to get the men who attacked the sheriff. I'm going out to see him. He's promised to tell me who and what is behind the association's attempt to freeze out the ranchers.
Well, that's good news, Cassidy. Why didn't Sheriff Barton tell us ranchers?
Well, he probably hadn't finished his investigation yet.
I certainly hope you can find some way to help us out. We can't hold out much longer. I was against Red's store idea, but I hope I'm wrong. I own that vacant store across the street. Here's the key. Use it.
Well, thank you very much. Hey, when Ed Roberts left here, he was about ready to cut off my ear. You go over there and get him to eating out of your hand. How do you do it?
Nothing to it. Hey, we're in business.
Don't tell me he gave you the whole store.
Sure, he decided to give your idea a try.
Well, I'm not so sure that'll work, Hoppy.
Well, of course it'll work. Haven't you always said you'd like to settle down, have a business of your own?
Yeah, but...
Now's your big chance.
Where are we going to get the supplies?
Didn't you say you knew a freight hauling outfit at the county seat?
Did I say that?
You said that and a lot of other things. I'm going out to see Sheriff Barton. You stay here and get things fixed up. And keep out of trouble. There's your key.
Yeah, but Hoppy, but Hoppy, I can't.
Are they gone?
Yes.
I want some of our men to follow him out to Sheriff Barton's ranch. This time we got to get them both.
He gave me the idea that Barton had been murdered.
You were a fool to fall for that. I told you the sheriff was still alive when I left his ranch.
You told me men would get him, too.
Well, I couldn't know that Cassidy would be riding out in the valley at that particular time.
Well, we shouldn't have raided the sheriff's wagon. If you'd have listened to me...
I give the orders. Where are the men?
In the stable. I keep them out of sight.
I'll tell them to get started. We haven't got any time to lose.
Yeah, I told him to riddle the sheriff's room and make sure that Cassidy got his.
Good. Dexter and Lawson still around?
Yeah, they only sent 4 men.
Well, we've got a little job right here in town that needs taking care of. Take Dexter and Lawson and see if you can find some way to discourage our friend across the street.
Oh, that'll be a pleasure.
Meantime, I'll ride out to the sheriff's and put on a big act about these outrageous killings.
The doc gave me permission to talk with the sheriff again, but it wasn't much use. He was suffering from a severe concussion and only came to now and then. Once in a while, he'd open his eyes and smile a little, and I knew he recognized me. I was glad that he at least knew I was on the job. As soon as he dismounted, Red told me what had happened to him in Stone Valley. He was hopping mad and wanted my permission to return and shoot it out with his tormentors. I couldn't blame him, but we had more important things to consider. I told him about the raiders and their killing Sheriff Barton. Just then we heard hoofbeats.
I was down the road. I heard shots coming from this direction. And I saw 4 men riding away.
Well, we did have some visitors. Did you get a look at any of them?
I wasn't close enough. They killed the sheriff, didn't they?
They tried to kill him. I'm going after those men. I'd like you to go with me.
Oh, of course. I'll go with you.
See here, Hoppy. You just told me...
I told you to stay here and guard the sheriff. Can't you get that through that big, thick skull of yours? I'll go in and tell him you're going to be here to take care of him.
Robert's words were a tip-off, and I began putting 2 and 2 together. How did he know that the sheriff was the target of the men riding away? And why was he sure the sheriff had been killed? But I knew my suspicion was no good without proof.
Red, come here. Did you see the sheriff?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I just got here and... Here comes Hoppy.
Well, don't stand there like an idiot. Get in the house. Come on, Roberts.
I'm darned if I understand, Hoppy. First he tells me the sheriff's dead, and then he... Sheriff. Get the Rangers and ride to Robert's ranch. Hurry, Hoppy.
Cassidy, you're going the wrong way. See those tracks?
Your ranch is down this way, isn't it?
Yeah?
That's where we're heading.
What's the meaning of this?
We'll talk about that when we get there. Get going.
Well, you must be out of your mind. If you're not going to try to capture those killers, I will.
Roberts! I said we were heading for your ranch. Now get going.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Sit down. Well, the association's been good to you. No danger of you being starved out.
Those are mine. I can prove it. I bought those supplies when the association first started to give trouble to the ranchers.
You'll have plenty of time for alibis later. Well, this letter from the government is very interesting.
I can explain that.
You should have explained to your friends, the ranchers, that the government is buying up land in Stone Valley for a cavalry post. You and I have taken a ride to the county seat. I got all the evidence I need.
You won't get away with this, Cassidy. My men will be here soon.
You mean your hired killers? That's fine. I got a score to settle with them, too.
All right, Cassidy. Now's your chance.
Get rid of them.
Get here, man. Cassidy!
No, you're just in time. Drag him out of here. Gentlemen, the government wants land here in Stone Valley to build a cavalry post. And they're not grabbing your ranches. Anyone who wants to sell can sell. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Well, Red, you got a nice store here. You're going to make a great storekeeper. Good luck to you. So long and good luck.
Here you are, partner. The darn store's yours.
Hoppy, wait! I'm coming!
Change your mind, huh? Come on. Hi there. Now a thought for my little partners. Be happy and proud that you're an American. Remember, there are millions of little boys and girls all over the world that'd give anything for that privilege. Until next week, so long and good luck to you.
There he goes on his way down the moonlit trail to where cowboys stray. Hop along, Cassidy. Hop along, Cassidy. He'll return soon again. say goodbye until